Ryan Dailey here, PGA member and Operation 36 co-founder. And here on the channel, our goal is to get you to beat 36 in the shortest time possible so you can get out on the course with your friends and have a great time. Today, we're looking at green reading. As we talked about in a previous video, getting your ball to stop close to the hole to leave a short next putt is one of the hardest things in Op 36. Today, we're going to discuss green reading and especially the reading part of this. How do we predict where the ball's going to go before we hit it? This is a skill. If we come over to this hole, I see beginner golfers, especially if they have a putt here, they'll aim right at the hole and they'll hit their putt and it'll break on the low side over and over and over again. The challenge with putting is that greens are not flat. This is not a pool table. They have slope to them. Greens have slope from high to low, and you need to predict where the ball's going to go. That last putt I hit missed on the low side. We're always putting high to low, and the way that we describe these putts is very important. I've set up this ramp here that will show us a putt that goes from right to left. It's very important that we say that, right to left. Don't just say the putt goes to the left. If we say that, it's very easy for the player to just hit the putt at the hole and the ball goes to the left. So again, we're going from right to left. The way that I see this is when I stand behind it and I look at the lay of the land, I see that this is higher than this side. I check with my eyes. I can clearly see that this goes right to left. And I've already pre-positioned this in the correct spot for this particular putt. And if we were to extend the target line out, it would be somewhat close to that tee. This sweet roll, as it's called, is aimed right at that tee. But when I put the ball on here, we can clearly see that the ball curves to the left. A neat way for us to look at this when we're trying to get better at our green reading is to map out a ball as it goes into the hole. If I put this on yellow and I stop it, and then I do another one and I stop it, you can see from that angle the path that the ball has to take to get in the hole. And it's really cool to study this and get really good at reading green. Some people can see it in their eyes. Other people do it through their feet. They might come up to the middle of the putt and feel in their feet that their left foot is lower than their right. Step one is to know which way it's going, right to left. Step two is how much, and that's going to take some practice. Is it a little? Is it a lot? And as we graduate through the different levels in Op 36, we'll get even more detailed into that. But just for right now, we're trying to understand which way it's going to go before we hit it. A great way to practice this is using the putting sword. We used this in the putting video previously on aiming our putter, but we're actually going to use this for working on green reading. What I would do if I had this, I might go, let's say 6 feet away from the hole and put the putting sword and aim it where I think it needs to go for this putt. To me, it looks like this thing's going to curve a little bit to the left. If I put the tee where I think it needs to start, we'll say just right of the hole. You might play in tournaments where people say, oh, it's 1 cup out to the right, or it's 2 balls out to the right of the hole. You might hear people say that when you play in tournaments. That's a way that you communicate this. That's pretty darn close. Let me see if that read is decent here. Didn't hit it. Try it again. Looks like I underread it. The ball missed on the low side. Let me add a little bit more to the right. This might be out here. All right, that might be 4 balls out to the right, 2 cups to the right. Woo! That speed was a little bit off. But if I was practicing or training somebody in green reading, we would go through these exercises on a consistent basis. So you could get good at predicting how much break there is. Different grasses, different speeds break different amounts. If the superintendent decides to mow these down and make them really fast like Augusta, they're going to break a lot. A great putt for you to watch is the 2019 Masters when Tiger won on the 9th green. He hit it to the back of the green and putted from a very long distance. He had to play it up onto the fringe and down to the hole. We'll put a link in the description to watch this, but it's an incredible display of green reading. Even the players that played with him were in awe of his green reading, and he got it to stop within a couple feet of the hole, which was absolutely incredible. Green reading, very important. We're trying to predict which way it goes before we hit it. And now let me show you a performance drill that might be able to help you work on this. You take 4 tees. I'm gonna put them at north, south, east, and west on a hole that breaks a little bit. We know this thing breaks, and we'll go 10 feet away from the hole. We'll go 3, 6, 9, 10 feet on the north side. 3, 6, 9, 10 feet on the south side. 3, 6, 9, 10 feet on the east side. 10 feet on the west side. And if you remember back to our putting video, our goal from 10 feet away is we're just trying to get it close enough to the hole that we can tap it in. As I go through these, my exercise is I'm trying to predict where the ball's going to go before I hit it. That's step 1. And if I get that right and I stop the ball close to the hole, that's a win. You're not trying to make every 10-footer. Remember, when you're trying to make it, many times you end up blowing it past the hole and you end up 3-putting. In this particular instance where we're trying to beat 36, we're just trying to get really good at stopping it close to the hole. What I would do if I were you is on these 4 putts, I'd look behind it. Definitely it looks like to me like this thing, if this airplane wings, it's going to curve to the left. When I step behind, I'm looking at a point to the right because it's going from right to left. Then I want to put the ball out to the right. And that definitely curved. I got the read. I got it fairly close to the hole. Got my 2 putt. And then I would go directly to the next putt. I wouldn't keep hitting the same putt over and over and over again. I'd come up to this one. This isn't a side slope. This is actually like a skier going downhill skiing. You're going right down the slope. There's a little bit of slope, but not as much as the previous one. I'm looking at a point just outside on the right where I want to start this ball. That was a really good read. Oh, got lucky there. Bopped in. That was a really good read. Now let's go over to this one over here. We're back to the side of this slope. If that's the top of the mountain, you're skiing down. This thing sloped to the right. We're going to be going left to right. I want to start this ball out to the left. That was another really good read. Stopped it close to the hole for a 2-putt. And then the final one we'll do is down here on the south side. This is going straight up the mountain. I probably shouldn't say straight because it's probably not directly straight. I think this one curves maybe a fraction to the right, but it is uphill. Again, my goal, trying to get it close to the hole. If it falls in, great. Perfect. I wasn't trying to make it, but I was trying to get the speed right. I think this is a good exercise to do on a consistent basis. Just put 4 tees out there. Don't hit the same putt over and over again. Get good at reading a putt and trying it and seeing how close you are. Once you hit these 4 putts, you go to a different hole. If you have access to something like a sweet roll or molding you can buy at like Home Depot, you cut the 10-foot thing in half, and then it almost is like a slope that you can use to see the ball curve. But green reading is important to predict where the ball goes. I can't emphasize enough that I see every beginner golfer miss it on the low side. We see even very good players miss it on the low side. And it's really important for you to develop this skill. Thank you for watching the video. We just scratched the surface on green reading today to make you aware that greens are not flat and they have slope to them, and we need to practice our green reading skills to get better at them. If you want even more details on green reading, I invite you to find a local Operation 36 coach near you to help you. Click on Locate a Program, and you can find a facility near you.